start by thanking Senator Murphy, my fellow senators and fellow House members for advancing this initiative to protect First Amendment rights in the United States of America. We shouldn't have to do it today. The First Amendment is crystal clear. The government may not use its power to squash political dissent. That is textbook First Amendment. But that is what President Trump has been doing since the beginning of his administration, and now they've announced their intention to dramatically step up that effort. In the aftermath of the terrible murder of Charlie Cook,
that was really, oh my Lord Jesus, that was so sad.
He could have united the country behind the simple principle that political violence is unacceptable regardless of the source. Instead,
y'all, I'm watching this to see
Trump administration,
what they're talking about today.
The FBI, the FCC, and elsewhere have decided to weaponize that horrible murder for his own political purposes, to use government power to crack down on dissent and to go after his critics. This is not new for this administration. Donald Trump claimed to be a champion of the First Amendment. At the same time, he was locking up students for exercising it, and the Trump administration has been going after universities and law firms and media outlets for political.
Yeah, I just got back from Walmart. I brought the stuff I'm going to be using to make the goulash. Then later on tonight, let me interrupt this program right quick to let y'all know what I'm doing. I just got back from Walmart, and I am. Give me 1 second. I brought the stuff that I'm going to need to make the goulash, and then for later on, I'm going to make some pickled veggies.
And Jimmy Kimmel. Here's what he said. I'm going to read one line from what he said. He said, quote, "We can do this the easy way or the hard way. These companies can find ways to change conduct and take action, frankly, on Kimmel, or there's going to be additional work for the FCC ahead." That is a textbook example of violation of the First Amendment, using government power, abusing government power. The FCC chair essentially threatening to use his power over licenses and mergers to pressure companies to fire Kimmel. Shamefully, ABC fell in line. They capitulated. They didn't have to, but they did. This legislation that Senator Murphy and
now, I'm not the smartest person, but I knew some things that they were doing was not right. But
strengthen the ability of individuals and organizations to protect themselves against this abuse of government power and deter government officials from engaging in that effort to go after it. That's why we need to pass this legislation. We have to stand with those who stand up against illegal bullying by Donald Trump and his administration, because bullies, they try to pick people and organizations off one by one until there's no one left to stand up for anybody else. And those who capitulate and those who appease that effort simply put the rest of us and our rights at risk. That's how dictators, that's how kings, that's how authoritarians rule. The First Amendment was established.
Hey guys, welcome in. Again, I'm just watching this because I just got back from Walmart, and
the first King George II and King George.
I'm just watching about what they're talking about.
Simply for criticizing those kings. We fought a revolution in this country over that.
Which is really sad that the world has come to this point.
But we will not be silenced, and we must protect the First Amendment and political dissent. That's what this bill, that's what this initiative will do. And I thank my colleagues. President Trump.
Thank you to Senators Murphy and Van Hollen in particular for conceiving of this legislation.
Y'all, again, I just got back from Walmart. I had to go buy the stuff that I need. And I'm just watching this because I like to watch
political violence.
I like to listen to music too.
In all of its forms and all of its motivations. And we stand here united in the breach in defense of the American right to speak, to protest, to dissent. I went to war 3 times for this country. I swore many oaths to protect the Constitution, to protect this nation, but I did so. And when I did that, I did it knowing that I would be called upon potentially to give my life in defense for people.
Hey guys, welcome in.
things
Double
that
tap
maybe I
that
disagree
screen.
with.
Again, I'm just washing some of the
Because that
vegetables
is who we are.
that I'm
That
gonna
is
be
what
using.
generation and generation of American before us has done, has sacrificed and sometimes given their lives. So we can disagree, we can debate, we can find that path to a more perfect union. And right now we are facing an unprecedented assault against that very
I'm gonna be
value.
using this for later when I make those pickles.
What is more American than the ability to stand up and question authority? The ability to stand up and debate and to speak. The reason why that's so fundamental is that none of us have a monopoly on getting it right all the time. I don't. Democrats don't.
This is for the
Republicans don't.
goulash.
Nobody gets it right all of the time. The beauty in our system is that we can have that push and pull. People can speak up and be protected in doing it.
Y'all, these are so good.
But what we see out of Donald Trump
Y'all need to try
and
these.
his lieutenants, like Stephen Miller and Laura Loomer, is an
I'm
unprecedented
gonna be washing my vegetables.
assault on that very right. Fear and intimidation. An effort by them to say who can speak up and who cannot. An effort by them to say, and only them,
For the pickles.
who's a terrorist and who's not. Who has the right to speak and who doesn't. Power is always cyclical in America. And the reason why we protect it for everybody is that the minority and those not in power, now it's us, but sometime in the future it'll be somebody else, have that right to question us, to push back. And if we lose it, we all lose it. So every American, Democrat, Republican, and Independent must stand up in this moment to say no. We will fiercely defend and carry forward the torch of Americans who have fought and defended in the past, and we will not allow us to lose it on our watch. This legislation is simple. It says that if you are a civil servant, if you are doing the work of this nation, to protect our food, to make sure plans land safely, to defend our country in uniform, that you
Hi
also have
guys.
the right to speak up and question
Love
authority.
you. God bless
Because we'll
everyone.
all be better off.
Besides all this is going on, God bless everyone. I'm so thankful
We
to be
ask,
alive.
We implore
So thankful that
conservatives,
Jesus Christ
independents,
woke me up this morning. I'm so
everybody
thankful for his
join
mercy, his
this
grace.
effort.
I thank him for
It's now the
his
time.
his love, his forgiveness.
We are listening in to Democratic lawmakers as they are talking about a proposed bill on free speech. We're going to continue with that after this break.
Well, let me get back to doing this. So I'm just on like prepping the, yeah, that's my body wash. I'm not using none of that. So that's my body wash I use, yeah. So this is what I'm making later. I'm not doing that right now. I'm just cleaning everything up. Cleaning my vegetables. Hey guys, welcome in. Thank you. I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. God bless you. To everybody who's watching, please double tap your screen. Give me a like for this video, please. Ooh. So I'm gonna be making some goulash, y'all. I gotta get my. I know I cleaned last night, but y'all, tell me why my kids woke up last night and they were hungry. They were watching a movie and they wanted me to make noodles. So I'm like, all right, you got it. So anyways, guys, I'm doing better this morning. Thank God for that. I did get some sleep. I slept pretty good. I slept fine.
Does your child suffer from migraine? A research
No,
study
my
is
child
underway
is a
at
migraine.
to evaluate a
He ain't
treatment
suffering.
to
He's a
learn if it may
migraine
be
himself.
effective in children ages 6 to 17. To be eligible, your child must have a history of migraine for at least 6 months.
I got a history of
All
migraine.
study-related visits and investigational medication will be provided at no cost. To learn more,
Y'all, like I said, I went to Walmart this morning.
Or call
And I know this is not healthy, but I need it, guys. Look how pretty that is.
It's a very busy day on
It has been a busy
on
day.
This Thursday, I'm Stephanie Quinu. I did want to share this live look with you of the Capitol building happening right now. The House Oversight Committee has just returned from recess, and they are continuing the hearing over crime in D.C. Part of the
I'm gonna
panel of
move this over
witnesses
here again. This is for later when I make those pickled
we did want to
veggies.
let you know that we do have that hearing streaming in its entirety, uninterrupted, on our YouTube page. If that is the event that you would like to listen to right now, we invite you to head over there. We also have another major event taking place on Capitol Hill. That is what we were bringing to you right before the break. That is Democratic lawmakers talking about a proposed bill on free speech. Let's continue to listen in.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, I should say. Thank you, Senator Murphy, and all of my colleagues
Good
here.
afternoon.
So I would like to read you a quote about the importance of free speech.
Okay, go ahead,
It is
girl.
fundamental of our values and rights as Americans. The quote is, "We don't have to agree with everything or anything that people say, but when when political leaders represent an important constituency, it is incumbent upon us to at least participate in dialogue with them. We may disagree with your views, but we will fight to defend your right to offer it in the public square. Agree or disagree." Now,
Okay.
this quote isn't about being a Republican or a Democrat, though a Republican said these words. Vice President J.D. Vance said these words less than a year ago. But any of us could have made them, could have said the same thing, because they express that most American of values, that in this country, we can say whatever we think, whatever we believe, and we don't have to worry about the high and mighty leader that we may offend. Our rights as Americans is to annoy and even offend whomever we like. Our speech, our words, our principles are protected.
As long as it's not hate. I mean, differences are gonna happen. Differences are everywhere. With your relationship, with your marriage, with your children.
And about the rich and powerful.
Differences are okay,
We are
but
losing that. And everyone can feel it. Just this morning, I was on the radio with a talk radio station in the upper Midwest, up in Fargo-Moorhead. This isn't some left-wing program, it's in Fargo-Moorhead. And as I was waiting to get on, I had a chat with the producer, and the producer said, "Senator, I didn't think that this could happen, but we are afraid that they're going to come after us, that we're going to get taken off the air." And that is not paranoia. When you see that the FCC, just as one example, how they are bringing the full force of the federal government down to silence the president's critics, that is not paranoia. Who wouldn't be afraid? We have been in a fever dream these last months, an escalating rampage of one side of our deep political divide trying mightily to exert maximum pressure on the other side, even at the cost of free speech. This is the balance of power that defines our Constitution. This is happening even at the cost of our more perfect union. And what we are doing today is we are saying, stop it, enough. We are at this moment in this great democracy, this great and perfect democracy, where we actually need to spell out clearly that there will be costs when the federal government tries to go after people and organizations in our civil society and take away their rights to participate and to speak out. We are saying enough. That must be what we protect in this government, in this country. Today, my Democratic colleagues and I are saying we respect your right to say what you believe, and we're going to protect your right to do and say what you believe. That is what this legislation is all about, because that is what free speech means in this country.
Thank you, Senator Murphy, and all my colleagues for leaning in at this additional critical moment. This is the United States of America, where since the beginning we have protected free speech. That's why we're here today, because we have a president and an administration that has been weaponizing the government against their critics, plain and simple. An attorney general who is bound to prosecute Americans for what he alone deems hate speech. A president who threatens a reporter with prosecution for asking
Oh, excuse me. Sorry, guys.
And Donald Trump personally suing
Hey, love.
the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal for publishing.
Hold on, let me come over here with you.
And just last night, ABC announcing they're pulling down Jimmy Kimmel's show following the pressure from the chairman of the FCC. Now, what happened to Jimmy Kimmel last night, and Stephen Colbert for that matter, isn't just about one comedian or one television personality or any one network.
Yeah.
It's about whether we as Americans still have the freedom to laugh at those in power, to question authority, and to tell the truth.
Come on, yeah, let me show you what I'm doing in the kitchen. Hold on.
Now, history shows
Sometimes I just...
we also silencing entertainers and journalists and critics. It's not because they're wrong. It's because they're evil.
Sorry.
So we have to ask, what is this administration afraid of?
Yeah, there's so much going on right now. So much going on right now. Lord, what's this whole thing? There's so much going on. I'm not even kidding you. Sometimes I feel like I just want to cut the TV off sometimes. Because
make no mistake, they are looking for excuses to crack down.
right now I'm just going to boil her chicken, star food. I got this soaking in some water because again, this one I'm going to make later. There's a lot of stuff that I don't agree with that I hear people saying. But I'm the type of person like I'm open like to hearing it, but do I agree with it? No. I won't agree to it. So y'all making that for Star for her lunch?
Now you can disagree with just about everything he stood for, or agree with him for that matter.
Yeah.
But in the spirit of Charlie Kirk, he came to debate.
See, this is where they lose me about what they believe in. I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe that Jesus Christ is God. I believe that Jesus Christ is one. I don't believe in the Trinity. But again, if somebody else does believe in it, then that's not for me to deal with. That's for God to take care of, not me.
Protected speech. Because if we stop fighting for our rights is the day of the week. And we're not going to go. Thank you, colleagues. Thank you, Senator Murphy.
My mom talked a lot about this memory she had as a little girl in Detroit, Michigan, where she would be woken up in the middle of the night to help a black family or a black person take shelter.
Yo, this guy right here, I don't know his name. Hold on. Let me show y'all. Yo, this guy right here, I don't even know who he is, guys. But let me tell y'all, I was watching him talk to Patel Cash. Yo, he drilled him.
And my mom and my grandparents would tell me that.
Oh, Senator Cory
It was because
Booker.
in their southern communities, they said something.
Yo, he drilled Cash
that
Patel.
offended some authorities.
I'm not kidding you. It was such a...
And they
I watched it
vicious
again.
reprisals. So much so they'd have to get
He
their
did it
jobs
the
and their
right way.
families and flee the government.
Again, I feel
And
like he
those that
put
they
his
were
foot
enabling
on Cash Patel's
who would
neck, yo.
terrorize and target those people. And it was so bad that they felt the only safety for these people was to get them out of America. My grandparents witnessed the Red Scare and McCarthyism. They witnessed the targeting of artists like comedians that they love, from Lenny Bruce.
I'm not for nothing.
Censor
I am
to a
for
whole
my
generation
Lord
of
Jesus
black
Christ. I
comedians
believe
that
in
were targeted
holiness.
for
I
their
don't
jokes
pick and
what they
choose.
said.
I'm not a red. I'm not a blue.
My
I'm
mom
just
was an activist in the civil rights movement.
here on this
and
earth.
standing up and
trying to make it
speaking
to
truth could
heaven.
get you killed.
I'm trying to
Those
make the
who
first
not registered
resurrection.
people
I'm
like
not
Goodman,
involved in
King,
none of
and
this.
Schwerner, people
I
that
just
Fred
think just
Shuttlesworth had their
listening to
houses
him,
bombed
yo,
and their families attacked
he wasn't rude.
for
He
what
wasn't
they
disrespectful about it.
for speaking truth to power.
I like
I'm
him.
proud of my family. I'm proud of the fact that my grandparents, at a terrible time in our country's history, did actions of defiance
I like Cash Patel. I like
defense,
everybody. I love everybody. I don't care who it
and actions
is.
of democracy.
I love everybody,
I
but
just want to tell everybody right now, we are in our dark and dangerous time in America.
you ain't lying.
This is a dark and dangerous time.
You ain't lying.
And it's a time that we do something about
Oh,
it.
is
And it
he?
starts with
I don't even know
speaking
who he is, but I'm telling y'all,
I
I
would like
just
to believe that my grandparents
watched
in heaven
this
right
yesterday.
now look at this legislation.
A day before
And are
yesterday,
proud
whenever he
of
was
it.
talking to Cash Patel.
But this legislation is not enough. All of us right now have to begin to believe, what are we doing in defense of one of our most fundamental constitutional principles? Some of us have sworn an oath to defend our Constitution. It is under assault right now. I am telling you, if we as the people, not just folks who agree on some partisan spectrum, but all Americans stand up in defense
Who
of
is
the
standing
right
for
to
God?
speak your truth as you see it, if we do that, if we respond to these assaults
I like
on the
him.
First Amendment by locking arms,
I love
we
him.
won't just
I'm sorry.
defend democracy.
I love everybody. I
We
love
will do
everybody
what
who's
my
watching in.
grandparents and parents' generations did.
I love
said,
everybody.
And sang, we shall overcome this dark time.
Sorry.
Thank
Who
you,
is
Senator
this?
Booker, for those powerful
Who is
words in
this?
that story, and thank you, Senator Murphy, for bringing us together today.
I'm not a
Let's just
Republican.
say
I'm not a
it plain and
Democrat.
simple.
I am
President
for
Trump is
my Lord and
abusing
Savior
the
Jesus Christ.
vast powers
Let
of
me
the
make that
federal
clear, y'all.
government to shut
Diaper
down
Dawn
people
has
who
time.
dare disagree with him. From universities
Why you
to
call
law
him
firms
like
to
that, yo? Why you
nonprofits
call
to
him
journalists,
diaper? Who?
Trump is abusing his power and violating the First Amendment daily to punish anyone who does not line up behind his agenda.
Okay, hold on,
That
y'all,
would
because
be
I'm cooking.
wrong
Remember I told you
no
I'm cooking?
matter which party did it.
We'll come right back to
No
that.
matter who the president was.
Anyways, I like him. I just like the way he talked. I don't know. He was just like telling Cash Patel, like, you're not for the people. You're not protecting the Constitution. You're standing up for.
Who tries to target his political opponents.
Like in other words, saying
and
Trump is punking him.
in the process. We are in the biggest.
Guys, I hit that like button, double tap the screen.
Since
I'm
the
trying to
American
reach
era.
500 subscribers.
The murder of Charlie Kirk was a horrific crime.
It
It's clear
was.
that Trump wants to hijack that horrific crime to silence anyone who disagrees with the president about any issue. While Mr. Kirk's tragic murder is new, Trump's desire to shut down all opposition is not. From the beginning of his administration, Trump has tried to go after...
we need to give the mic to Candace Owens. I love Candace Owens, y'all. I love me some Candace Owens. Give her the mic.
Disney and ABC, Paramount and CBS.
Like I always had, like...
Facebook. Let's be clear. The these companies are making a choice.
Why didn't they give him security? Why didn't he have security? But you know what? This is so freaking sad, man. His wife, Erica Kurt, y'all, did y'all see her crying? The babies, his children, y'all, I'm sorry. But you and me know that that's the first thing that comes to our mind. Our children. Who's going to take care of our children?
Please know, this is not just the rights of a TV host or a big university. Trump and his billionaire buddies want to silence dissent so that they can run the country for their own benefit. First, it came after students and professors. Next, it's media companies and journalists. After that, it's churches and nonprofits. After that, it's you. It's all of us. Remember that Donald Trump did not turn against Jimmy Kimmel because of anything he said this week. He turned against Jimmy Kimmel when 8 years ago, Mr. Kimmel spoke up about stopping Trump and Trump trying to take away the affordable care for millions of Americans. That's what's at stake in this moment. The ability of the American people to speak out against the billionaire takeover of our government and be heard. Thank you.
We continue to listen into
Democratic lawmakers. Hey, you watch it there, buddy. Because I'm fat. Don't come for fat people now. Just because you don't like Trump. I love Trump. I love everybody. Just ease up on the fat word, dude. You watch your mouth. I respect the law. I respect authority. Why, because I have to. But I fear God, y'all. I fear God more than anything in this world. He's my creator. He holds my life in his hands. He holds my children's life in his hands. So I fear God. But I respect authority. I respect what I'm supposed to do. Now, I will say I have been caught speeding 10 over the limit. Let's get this party started. So I'm just making her stars of chicken. She's got some sweet potato in there, a little bit of rice left over. But you ain't got to call Trump fat, yo. You ain't got to do him like that. Now that's just like being mean. It's okay, like for an example, my doctor said one time that I gained so much weight, y'all, and I was like, okay, I understand. But baby, I didn't come here for you to talk about my weight. I said I had a headache. He said, well, that's the reason why. So, again, I have a really big sense of humor and a big back and a big stomach. And I have a big heart when it comes to loving people. Even though I suffer from depression and anxiety and all of that, like literally. Should I give her that?
Talking about a proposed bill on free speech.
So, free speech. That's what it's talking about.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you, Representative Joe, for bringing us all together today to show the American people that we stand shoulder to shoulder and in a lot of truth.
But to tell somebody they're fat just because you feel some type of way towards them, that's not cool. You know what I mean?
You can choose what you like and ignore the rest. The Constitution is absolute. It is binding, and it is our sworn duty.
I don't think that's cool, but again, people have a it's free speech. If you want to call him fat, call him fat.
We're proposing the Second Amendment in June. And we cannot and we should not use the murder of Charlie Kirk to rip apart the First Amendment in September.
But that's not going to change nothing.
Collectively, all of us.
Just because we call him fat and all that, it ain't going to change that. People call me fat, and it ain't changing nothing. Well, I change it now only because of my health. Like, I'm trying to get back to a healthier weight. I'm trying to live a better lifestyle. And I know that me being obese is like affecting me mentally too.
Was National Constitution Day.
Hold on, I had to make her
passing
chicken.
out hundreds of constitutions, copies of the Constitution to our colleagues, reminding our colleagues that it is National Constitution Day and that we swore an oath, not to a party and not to a president, but to that Constitution, that document. The people
But there's a way you say things, you know? You have a right to say whatever you want to say. But I wouldn't encourage nobody to talk about somebody's death or to say he had it coming. None of that, because
cheering on this administration's attack on your liberal organization.
the only one who knows that is God Almighty. He's the only one who can say that. Nobody else can sit there and say anything. Oh, I know it would be
the wrong choice over the long run. And you will be on the wrong side of history for supporting this campaign. So to my colleagues, I implore you to stop now with the silencing, to stop now with the dividing, to please stop with the destruction, because this cost is far too high for all of us. Benjamin Franklin, a famous American, a famous Pennsylvanian, and a famous Philadelphian, wrote that freedom of speech is a principal pillar of a free government. When this support is taken away from us, the constitution of our free society is dissolved, and tyranny is erected in its ruin. So for 250 years, we've held strong in the face of this tyranny, and we must, for the next 250 years, hold strong too, because we all know this American experience is worth the effort. Thank you for the opportunity.
Good afternoon, my name is Maxwell Alonzo Frost. I proudly represent my hometown of Central Florida here in the United States Congress. I want to thank Senator Chris Murphy.
Hi, my name is Sister Leah, and I am representing my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Administration's attack on the most fundamental freedom that we have as Americans, the freedom to speak, dissent, and criticize ourselves without fear. We should all be very fearful and scared.
There's so much separation in this world.
This administration is scaring people into silence. Ridiculing reporters.
That's why we just gotta love. Don't let. You gotta love each other. Be nice.
Taking funds, something from non-profits, intimidating businesses who pay to their demands. We need to be asking what will be left of this nation when the Trump administration is finished. Now, this isn't even about left versus right. It's about, and it's not even about silencing certain political leaders. We've seen even
the only one who's right is Jesus Christ.
Media outlets that are too scared to even question him at the most basic parts. This is about silencing criticism of Donald Trump, who believes that he's a king. Donald Trump doesn't want a democracy, he wants a throne. And his cronies are clearing the way. The president and his
So guys, I'm gonna be making cornbread too.
The vice president, the FTC chair, the attorney general, secretary of state, and congressional Republicans are implementing a dangerous agenda to punish against opposition. Fascism is not on the way, it is here. The First Amendment is how generations of Americans, civil rights activists,
Wait a minute, I thought I watched. Look how dirty that is.
LGBTQ plus activists have fought for progress, and it is our power.
Ooh.
And I say this as
Look,
someone
I thought it was
who has
cool.
protested on the streets of my district, has been tear gas, maced, arrested, and jailed in the jail I now represent in Congress.
Hold on, yeah, let me watch this really well.
We cannot let the fear of speaking out become noise. We cannot allow truth-telling become a crime, and we cannot let them silence us. The NOPE Act is about strengthening the laws that protect the people from an administration that fears truth and fears democracy. An administration
So I'm gonna make some cornbread with some goulash.
divides the working class to distract from the fact that they're doing everything they can to enrich billionaires and to enrich mega corporations. That's exactly what happened with Jimmy Kimmel last night. The Oversight Committee will have more to say about this, what happened last night.
Come on, let's go see what they're talking
Further than
about.
the fact that Sinclair is in the middle of an acquisition that the FCC has to approve. All of this ties back to money and people enriching themselves and bending the knee to Donald Trump to make it happen. This bill will give us another tool to fight back. And while congressional Republicans lie down and do nothing and enable this, Democrats will be advancing this bill, launching investigations, sending subpoenas to expose the ever-mounting corruption. When we don't have all the power we want, we use all the power we got, and that's what this bill is about. When we use every tool we have, especially our freedom of speech, to stand up to the onslaught against the American people, we can win, and I encourage my Republican colleagues to join us on this. Thank you.
Thanks. Maxwell, I'll be happy to take any questions.
Senator Murphy, it's not only true that President Trump is doing this, but a lot of Republican colleagues in the House trying to censure on or last night, they're calling people his employers. How do you
All right, y'all.
protect people who are
I
targeting?
think I know where I'm right here. Y'all don't get scared.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be an epidemic where there will be speech control, both in the public sphere, but in the private sphere as well. These corporations are so greedy that they are willing to do anything and everything in order to make as much money as possible, including being lieutenants in Donald Trump's effort to try to control political speech. So, listen, we need to be talking not just to President Trump and the White House, but you're going to regret this moment on your deathbed.
My son would do that.
America is
He'll
no
know
longer a
I'm
democracy
on live, and
anymore.
then he'll
And
sit there and
you
call
were
me.
willing participants in the effort to destroy political speech, either by shutting down
Hold on.
voices like
On free speech. We continue with on free speech. We continue with our political coverage after this break. A hearing.
Okay, guys, I'm
is
back.
now
Sorry.
resumed after a short recess. This is the House
My son was calling me, so I had to call him back. Make sure he's okay.
DC. Part of the panel of witnesses includes DC Mayor Muriel Bowser. We're going to hear live in just a moment.
Doug. Okay, here's what you
Okay,
want.
let me come back over here, because again,
Customizes your car insurance.
Are you a caddy?
No, I'm a Doug. And that's a lingo. Okay, a little putt note.
so again, guys, I'm making some goulash.
Yes, he is a very nice bird.
So I do have some ground beef. I'm washing that because I'm gonna put my cornbread. So I got some ground beef. Then I have some leftover sausage that I'm gonna be adding to this pot. Ooh. Now I have one of those things that like chop up the beef, but I don't feel like using that. I feel like this is like, I don't know, I think it's the same. I'm gonna add the sausage too.
Charges up to 178 miles and just 15 minutes.
Ooh, look at y'all. That happened from the oh Lord, my son's calling. Hold on. I swear, my kid. So again, right here, I just have some sausage and some ground beef. And then over there in that other pot, I got Star's chicken going. Because your girl, she's so picky. So I'm just making her chicken here. I don't put no salt or nothing in hers.
This
They can get sick, I heard, from salt.
defunding of law enforcement, I believe, in American history. Under Republican leadership and under Trump's advisement, to cut ATF, to cut DEA, to cut FBI, and then the remaining officers that are left, as opposed to
Guys, hit that like button for me,
intercept
please. That was
guns
on
that are
the
being trafficked
screen.
into our communities, they are now patrolling impoverished communities like Ward 8. And so when we talk about defunding the police, we should look right into the eyes of President Trump and ask him, why are you defunding the federal law enforcement that is supposed to protect our communities from the flow of illegal guns?
Mayor Bowser, would you agree with that?
What defunding the
What-
federal law
what?
enforcement?
Yes, and this
What-
administration and this Congress has not fully funded law enforcement.
I would agree with that.
Exactly, I would as well, because in the end, we're spending millions of dollars daily on law enforcement, on National Guard, instead of spending that money on law enforcement that should be a more sustainable long-term solution. We're underfunding crime prevention programs in DC, and what the National Guard is doing here is they're
Let me turn that chicken down.
they're at street corners just hanging out, and they're not trained to be in law enforcement. And we're spending millions of dollars a day instead while they pick up the trash. And for Louisiana, there's a very high crime rate. There's plenty to do with Louisiana. I went to school there. And from other states that have their own crime problems and have their own problems back home, but so they're being sent here for photo ops essentially. And they deserve better. Their families deserve better. And the people of DC deserve better instead. And so I think what a better solution that's better for taxpayers and better for the American people, and certainly the people of DC, is why don't we just fund law enforcement and crime prevention programs in DC instead of continually underfunding them? Why don't we actually do what Chairman Mendelson just said and try to do more initiatives to find more law enforcement officers, because that is a problem. Recruiting is a big problem. And instead, we're sending the National Guard in. And I've got constituents out in Northern Virginia who work in DC every single day. And one constituent in Washington said, working with different now in fear of my safety. Military roaming the streets with possible unchecked authorities. There's many opportunities for harassment and abuse, although you talk about the things people have in the past. I'm seeing this right now and I'm becoming terrified. And I've gotten story after story about that. Mayor Bowser, have you gotten stories like that as well?
I have gotten stories about people who are concerned about seeing the military patrolling, policing with guns out of state, and people aren't really sure who they report to.
And I had one person tell me that their kids play soccer.
Y'all, make sure y'all subscribe. Double tap the screen. Oh, I just burned myself.
We can actually get to work and not be fearing that at every street corner we might get harassed. One of our constituents said that they worked in D.C. for over 30 years and still go frequently. But he never felt unsafe until now. And it is a dangerous power play this administration is.
I'm not going to add the onion yet.
They're not concentrating on federal issues of protecting our security.
But I am going to add a little bit of
Finding people
beef bouillon.
or people who want to join the police who can actually stay in our communities long term and actually fix the problem long term instead of just short-term photo op of this administration going forward. I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chair,
And then I am going to put some oregano. Because I don't like the white. It will not make your beef stink.
Mr. Perez, like 10 seconds, but I'll recognize Mr. Bell for, consent order.
our question is consent to enter into the record.
Then I'm going to put a little bit of salt, not too much salt.
In the Washington Post titled, Trump administration cuts school mental health plans created after school shootings and shaping the previous Marcus administration shows to proven solutions to reduce violent crime.
Without objection, so ordered. And Mr. Superman, I just want to remind you that the city hall, we're going to all have an opportunity to vote.
So I'm going to start opening the cans that I'm going to use.
$1 in funding. So we'll have an opportunity to vote to give the money to the sheriff.
Mr. Chairman,
Here in a second, guys, I have some onion and some sweet peppers. Again, these are not hot. These are gonna go in the goulash. Again, this is the way I make mine.
You'll have an opportunity to, you all have an opportunity to vote to restore that funding bill. Chair recognizes Ms. Green from Georgia.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to move the table the motion to subpoena. Jimmy Kimmel was fired because he lied on ABC about the identity of the man that Tyler Robinson was murdered, assassinated. Martin Charlie Kirk, he lied and said he was MAGA. Tyler Robinson was not MAGA, not one bit. He was part of the Antifa. He was in a relationship. He was in a relationship with someone who identified as furry and trans. And this is an absurd lie. And so I moved the table a motion to subpoena.
So, Mr. Chair, since typically this is non-debatable, I do have a point of inquiry because
Y'all hit that like button for me. I'm gonna add some of this. It's really good, y'all. Try it. Add it in your goulash. You will love it. You will love it. Then I have, of course, I'll show you what I have. I already showed you the elbows. That's gonna go on my goulash.
well, my question is about this motion to table, the motion that was on the table. So I would, at a very minimum, ask that the minority be given equal time.
We'll just try, how about we just hold off on the motion to table, but let's get back to asking questions. Everybody good with that?
Everybody's good with that? Everybody's good.
Was there no motion submitted then?
Okay, so this is also what I'm gonna add to y'all in the goulash.
Withdraw the motion for a little bit or not? It's up to you.
I'll withdraw it until the time needed.
Is it, are you satisfied?
As long as the minority does equal time as necessary.
Okay. Chair recognizes Mr. Bell from Missouri.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, ranking member, Mayor Dickinson, again, Attorney General Swallow, and extend my gratitude to your office when I was prosecutor. We had a very tough case.
Okay, let's come over here, guys, because again, we got the this is ground beef, sausage, and then of course I got Star's chicken boiling for her. I'm cleaning this because I'm gonna use it to make my cornbread. This is all what I have here. There's other stuff which I'll let you guys know what I add in there. Not this. This is for me. So this is what I'm using so far. Whatever you guys use, let me know. If there's something that y'all use that's differently from here, let me know. So now I'm going to start chopping up my onion and the bell peppers.
Have to do a whole slew of things, including de-escalation. And so I think that it's important we talk about that. And so my first question, and I'm short on time. Mayor, you were asked a question about the resources and what you would do with those resources, and you were cut off. Could you quickly finish that answer? That was earlier.
The resources with regard to our budget?
Yes.
Yes, so in order to close the $1 billion gap, we looked across our government. So we had to cut citywide contracts related to everything from mental health services to the contracts to give our employees raises, most notably MPD and fire and EMS.
And so law enforcement would be included in that priority, but there's also other things that a mayor is responsible for.
Absolutely, including shifting spending that should have happened in 25 related to affordable housing.
And Attorney General, can you speak to how over-policing and temporary enforcement tactics have addressed or to address the root causes of crime in the city?
Hold on, let me try to see if I can
Anybody in
sharpen
law
this.
enforcement knows, anybody prosecuting cases knows the level of trust the community has with law enforcement is essential. We need witnesses to feel comfortable coming forward. We need victims to recognize that they can come forward. And that trust between law enforcement, our MPD, and communities all around our city is something that we have worked very hard as a city to build in our time. But like so much, it can be broken very quickly. And I worry very much about the distrust that has been caused by the recent events to communities who work very hard to trust their MPD and vice versa.
And I think people also have to understand the cost of sustaining the national guard in a major city like DC, or now we're hearing even in my hometown of St. Louis, is astronomical. To send our troops who are trained, who are supposed to be protecting the homeland, to be coming in and doing the policing work, when we can take a fraction of that cost, pennies on the dollar, invest that in local law enforcement who is actually trained and give them the resources that they need and keep people safe for fractions of the cost. And so it's just interesting to me that my colleague would talk about defunding the police when the big ugly bill actually defunded the police. It cut funding for local law enforcement, and I don't hear my colleagues saying anything about that. And so also, there were some, with respect to serious crimes, carjacking, I know that was an issue. What has DC been doing to address those issues?
My office is prosecuting every case, every carjacking case, every armed carjacking case where we have sufficient evidence to meet our burden of proof. They are difficult cases to make from an evidentiary standpoint, from a witness perspective.
No, I'm gonna use half of this.
84% of the cases that MPD brought to us of
Let me mix
carjacking
this
last year were prosecuted. So we need to hold young people accountable and make sure they face consequences when they're engaged in carjacking.
And Mr. Jackson, with the remainder of my time, thank you for the work that you do. Can you speak to strategies you have found to be the most effective in actually curbing recidivism rates in our juveniles?
Well, we know that one of the most important things you can do is invest in victim services for those who have been traumatized by violence. As I've said before, there are 24 states suing the Trump administration for withholding $1 billion for victim service funds through the VOCA Act. But we know that the best way we can reduce.
I wonder if I can get copyright for having this on
and those who are most
the TV.
vulnerable, whether that's community violence intervention, victim services, mentorship programs, employment-based programs, all of which are under siege or have been cut by this administration.
Thank you. And with respect to victim services, I could not agree with you more. It's so important. Sometimes what gets lost in the argument is we do focus on arresting seriously violent offenders, which is so important, and also alternatives to incarceration for low-level offenders, drug addiction, and mental health. But we also got to be laser focused on our victims, and that impacts so many of our communities. I thank you.
Gentlemen, yields back. Pursuant to the previous order, the chair declares the committee in recess for 5 minutes. We plan to reconvene in 5 minutes.
So there you go, the Oversight Committee convening for a 5-minute recess as we take a live look here at the U.S. Capitol. We did want to let you know that we are streaming this House Oversight hearing on DC Crime on our YouTube stream. So as we do transition from time to time for other live events, we do invite you to head over to our YouTube page, where we are streaming this hearing in its entirety.
What she meant to tell y'all was to come over to my page, because I'm streaming it too for them. I'm helping them.
President Trump's federal crime crackdown in the city, including the deployment of National Guard troops. So among
y'all, I'm just mixing the meat.
Testifying today, DC Mayor Muriel Bowser and DC Attorney General Brian Schwab, among others. We are going to be stepping away for a break right here on Live Now from Fox. I'm Stephanie Quinn. Time right now coming up on 1:53 Eastern, 10:53 Pacific. After the break, Andy Mapp is going to be your host, continuing our coverage. Stay with us.
There's more than one way to try to go.
Special Gold Stocks. Special edition Gold Snack Lab is worth its weight in chicken gold. The final version is on the bill. So what's the plan? Watch it.
Look how pretty these are. So pretty. Aren't they pretty? Y'all give this sweet old bell pepper a thumbs up. That was good for that.
McDonald's is putting value back on the menu. Which means make a meal and save. Extra value meals are back. So now, get a sausage McMuffin with egg meal for $5. McDonald's is putting value back on the menu. Which means make a meal and save. Extra value meals are back. So now, get a Big Mac meal for $8. The anticipation of the new McDonald's sauce has reached its sweet, smoky, and gold pinnacle. Special edition gold sauce.
So y'all already finished chopping up the pepper, the red pepper, and then the onion.
On this visit the state dinner last night, meeting with King Charles II today, among two different leaders, including Prime Minister Keir Starmer and others there at Windsor Castle. We're following closely on live now from Fox Live back here home in Washington, D.C. Just a few o'clock.
So y'all see, let me show y'all my the meat doesn't have a lot of oil, so you don't really need to drain it. See that? So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna add the onions and stuff.
Control over the nation's capital. DC's top leaders mount their
So that's what I have.
We are putting every resource necessary towards public safety.
DC's mayor, council chair, and attorney general face the House Oversight Committee. Talk to lawmakers for the first time since thousands of members of the National Guard.
Y'all, please double tap the screen. Give me a like. Please comment. Good afternoon, everybody. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing well. Bear with me. I'm trying to get all this taken care of so I can go see my mom. I haven't seen her in 2 days, I want to say. 3 days. My depression had got to me, and when I'm depressed, I stay inside. I really don't even come outside. So guys, there's 13 of y'all in here. Please hit that like button for me, please. Yep. Y'all hit that like button for me, please. Now, I'm going to add some butter. It's a must. Oh, Lord, that was good. Excuse me, guys. Now, hold on. I need the rest of the stuff I need. What was I gonna get? Oh, I was gonna get some of this. Let me show y'all. This is olive oil with garlic, extra garlic, and I keep this in the refrigerator. I'm gonna use that again. It does. Look how. Look at that. Look at the garlic at the bottom. Take a look at it. Yeah, I'm gonna add the garlic, mainly the garlic at the bottom. See how that garlic is? Ooh! Hit that like button if you like garlic, cause baby, I love me some garlic. My kids, my husband, he like garlic too. Of course.
Ownership has been working with our lawful process to obtain materials from them on a rolling basis. The committee's top Democrat criticized.
So I'm not gonna add no more salt because I don't know. I don't like salty food. Even though I'm fat, y'all, I don't like no salty food.
You spent your evening dining in a swanky Midtown Manhattan restaurant and tweeting out false information.
But he received praise from Chairman Jim Jordan for correcting what the
Okay.
Congress says was a
Yeah.
weaponization of the FBI.
This is what it is.
Patel also criticized concerns about the FBI's handling of the Jeffrey Epstein investigation.
Baby, if you don't like to season your food, then don't look. Close your eyes, cause baby, I love me some seasonings. I'm gonna add just a tad bit of comino.
Insists he's been transparent at the White House.
Just a little bit. Y'all, this smells so good, guys. I'm gonna move this because again, I'm gonna make my I'm gonna make my cornbread on this, but I gotta clean it. And there's you don't just clean it. You gotta clean these a certain way. Or should I use my own? You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna use the glass one because I don't got time to clean this and get it off. Yeah, that's not good. I told y'all last night, just give me some noodles. And then after I made them, they wanted more. I was like, more cheese. Hey, that wouldn't be a bad idea to raise the minimum wage because I mean, I think they pay okay right now.
to see what it is. You know, there's a big diversion within the Federal Reserve Committee. The people that vote, so there are 19 members, not all of the vote, but there are 19 members.
Hold on, y'all. I gotta get me some water in. Some cold water. Y'all, this it smells so good in this kitchen right now. Oh, thank you. That was good. Okay. Now I'm gonna add some Italian paste.
Sector, at this point, the housing sector slowed down because mortgage rates have been higher, but now the 10-year yield is coming down.
Ooh, I like my nails like that.
This rate cut puts less pressure on the mortgage rates to be higher. And that, again, trickles to the economy. You're throwing a stone into a pond, and you see those ripples. So you lower the interest rate, people buy more.
Y'all hit that like button. Hey, do some of y'all use like the kidney beans for your goulash? So I'm gonna add some Dijon mustard. Not too much, just a little bit.
Yeah, at this point, he didn't have much. He's just one of 12 votes to set monetary policy, but he did dissent. He did not agree for 25 basis points. He wanted to see a 0.5%, which is 50 basis points, during this meeting. And he was sort of out on an island related to that. The rest of the Federal Reserve members who voted decided that there should be a 25 basis point. In fact, even Michelle Bowman and Chris Waller, who are Board of Governors members currently, who dissented last meeting, said they should have gone, not the meeting yesterday, the meeting before that.
Oh, that ain't nothing but garlic, y'all.
They should have lowered rates at that point. Those two who dissented then did not go with Stephen Murray at the 50%. So right now, he is sort of more aggressive in terms of the rate cuts that he wants than the rest of the Federal Reserve is willing to do. But, you know, his influence is still in there. He makes his argument at the table, and it could push them, you know, to keep going on these rate cuts. Again, with 7 members are saying, hey, we don't need any more cuts this year.
Okay. I'm gonna add some of this. Sorry, y'all. Don't be shy. Let it cook. Now I'm gonna add the rotel and then the tomato paste. Now let me wash the top of my can.
Social media, he had news conference when he was across the pond in the United Kingdom. He did not posted about it on social media as of yet. I'm sure we're going to hear from the president about this. He did want the deeper 50 basis points or 0.5% cut. He didn't get that, so we're probably going to hear from him. But again, the Fed is signaling moving in the direction the president wants. And maybe we'll see some counter comments. We'll just have to see.
Oh yeah, that's what it is. Hold on, y'all. Let me move the camera because I don't need my stomach and breast all up in y'all's face. I'm at some Goya.
People and I help people save hundreds by customizing card insurance. We order them with
Yeah, that's good. Now I'm gonna put this in. If y'all don't put any y'all's goulash, try it. It's really good, y'all. Hold on, let me show you. Y'all will thank me for sharing this. So this is what I put in mine. Y'all hit that like button for me, please, my loves. I'm trying to reach 500 subscribers. Please, guys, help me reach that. I wanted to make it like a little bit of spicy. I wanted to add, but I can't, guys, because I gotta share with my mom. I gotta take my mom food, so I can't. Yeah. I wish I could give y'all some.
You're helping them every day on the streets. Your slogan is saying that's just
You are against the police. Your comment expired.
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to use the request.
Oh. So now I'm gonna add some. Oh Lord, I almost cut myself, y'all. I'm gonna add some beef broth.
Yes, I request unanimous consent to enter into the record the September 16, 2025 article from Times titled Trump calls for a crackdown on the radical left. The right-wing extremists are responsible for more political violence, which calls out the game the president is playing.
Now I'm gonna put it on high. If y'all have an electrical stove, go ahead and turn it, crank it up, crank it up. Because I'm gonna put the noodles in, but I don't want to put them in. The water's not hot. Y'all, this is what it's looking like. You know what? I think I'm gonna put the noodles separate. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the noodles separately. Change my mind, guys.
First, I want to express my gratitude to Leader Jeffries and Ranking Member Garcia for the opportunity to join this committee. And Mr. Chairman, I look forward to working with you and members on both sides of the aisle as we conduct our...
Yeah, I was gonna do the noodles in here, but nah, I'm gonna put it separately. Y'all still have some garlic stuff in here. What is that? Yeah, the garlic.
A voice in conducting oversight of the federal government at a time when the Trump administration's reckless DOGE cuts have undermined the effectiveness, accountability, and integrity of federal operations and threaten the livelihoods of the federal.
Next, I'm going to add some browning seasoning.
I am firmly committed to protecting both the critical services our government provides
Going to add a little bit of water because I want everything.
and the dedicated workforce behind them. With that, I want to thank Mayor Bowser, Chairman Mendelson, Attorney General Schwab, and Mr. Jackson for taking the time to be here today. I also want to welcome, we have a number of other members of the City Council who have joined us.
So while this is like this, I'm going to add the beans, y'all. I'm gonna boil the noodles here in a second, but I'm gonna let this all come together with the beans, okay? So this is the kind of beans I'm using. You guys, whatever you use, hey, that's up to you. But I love these beans. These are so good, y'all. Very good. Y'all hit the like button for me, please. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe to my channel, please. I am trying to reach 500 subscribers.
Government is best, which remains closest to the people. And you all are closest to the people you represent, not us. As Mayor Bowser said in 1973, Congress passed the DC Home Rule Act.
Take a look at that.
Among other things, grant to the
It look like dog food, but it tastes good, y'all. I promise.
local self-government. To achieve this goal, the Home Rule Act
Just trust the process.
gives DC residents the power to elect their mayor, legislative body, and attorney general. Some of my colleagues, however, while praising the benefits of local autonomy and authority elsewhere, seek to strip that autonomy from DC residents as part of an effort to support a federal takeover of our nation's capital by President Donald Trump. Another stated purpose of the Home Rule Act, I haven't heard this mentioned today, was to, quote, relieve Congress of the burden of legislating upon essentially local district matters. Yet at a time when Congress...
I use red beans too. Kidney beans, all the beans. I use all of that, but I want to use this today.
In furtherance of President Trump's attempt to consolidate power. The American people are facing serious challenges. Our economy is faltering. Inflation is rising. Tariffs are driving up prices and job growth is stagnant. And unless this Congress acts, tax credits that help working families afford health care will soon expire.
Y'all trust me,
In my
it's gonna be
district
good.
and the districts of everyone here today, tens of thousands of people will see their health care costs skyrocket. And meanwhile, as has been mentioned, President Trump continues to cover up the Epstein files, and the government shutdown is looming. In the face of all of this, how does the majority choose to spend its time? By interfering in DC government.
Now, let me taste this, guys.
Disenfranchising 700,000 Americans. They claim it's in the name of
Yeah.
public safety. We've heard
This is really good.
witnesses many things that can be done to improve
Look at this.
public safety in the District of Columbia. This is really
I kid you not, y'all.
President Trump
This is really good.
to help him feel like he is in control of the strategy.
But, hold on, wait a minute.
Our constituents, Mr. Chairman, with the exception of Delegate Norton, are out there across the country.
I'm going to add a little bit
And they're
more
wondering why this Congress and this committee seemingly has
browning
no
sauce.
time to solve the real problems they face in their communities.
And then, oh, you know what? I forgot to add black pepper.
To cosplay as mayors and council members for the District of Columbia. Now you're back.
Chair recognizes Mr. Timmons from South Carolina.
Hold on, I feel like it's not coming out.
I've lived in Washington on and off over the last 15, 18 years for about
Okay, I'm going to move Star's chicken because her stuff is good.
was in disrepair.
Now, once it starts to, oh, almost burn my, oh, dang that.
Homeless people that were plaguing our public spaces.
Now that I see that it's boiling, I'm going to turn that fire down a little bit. Well, the heat. Because again, I don't want it to like cook quickly. Did y'all hear? Did y'all hear him stutter? He said, Stuttering Sally. And I don't want this to, I just want it to start bubbling. You see that?
So, yes, President Trump took extraordinary measures which were necessary to keep this city safe.
Guys, my heart is saddened because you know what, y'all, if y'all really knew me, I literally share my food. I love to cook for people. I'm going to turn that down already. It's starting to bubble, so I'm going to turn it down. Now I'm going to remove Star's chicken. Because, girl, that girl acts like she cannot eat nothing without her chicken.
What's not complicated is enforcing the rule of law. And I hate to pick on the attorney general, but we're having this conversation.
Yeah, so I hate to pick on the attorney general. Then don't pick on him. Leave him alone. Yeah, I'm gonna move her chicken. Yeah, I think it's tender enough. Let me show you what I'm doing over here. Y'all see that? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Oh, I forgot to get the crap. Guys, please hit that like button. Subscribe to my channel, please. I am trying to hit 500 subscribers.
You're the chief prosecutor now in D.C. Do you believe that the D.C. criminal justice system meets the two principles of justice that we learn in law school, deterrence and retribution?
Thanks for the question. Apparently, I also learned
This is her chicken, my Star's chicken, guys. I'm gonna let that cool down. Let me watch this first so I can start boiling some noodles.
For murdering someone intentionally. Do you believe 3 or 5 years for murdering someone intentionally? And by the way, I think they won't have a record when they hang out. Do you think that the victim have got the retribution?
our system has to hold young people accountable when they commit crimes and hurt people. And when they are held accountable, they should not face any consequences.
Do you think 4 years is enough for murder?
That's what we do to try to keep us.
Do you think 4 years is enough for murder?
Under our system, wrong punishments are not punishments to deter crime.
That is why you are going to witness your life. U.S. Attorney for D.C. says, all right, we're going to take
So to this water, I'm gonna add some chicken bouillon. This is what I use. I'm not gonna put salt or nothing. This has salt already in it.
And an attorney general who reflect the first time and how to... No. Again, you're going to lose power, you're going to lose authority because the views that you have are wrong. They're wrong, and we free D.C. Yeah, D.C.'s been free for 45 days. I yield back.
Oh, he said bring it back. I'm
gonna
let this boil now.
Of course, you can watch that hearing in full on our YouTube page on Live Now for Fox.
I see that?
Right now. This one,
I don't know why. Hey, have y'all seen that on YouTube where they be showing those trips and hacks? They said to do it like this. Why don't they say to do it? Girl, that takes us too much time. They said to do it something like this, right? Like when you're washing your strainers. Maybe that's too much time.
Call your doctor if you become depressed or sudden behavior changes or suicidal thoughts. So take these as if allergic. Serious side effects may include allergic reaction, sudden potentially fatal swelling of eyes.
Y'all, my kitchen is real small, so I always gotta clean as I go.
Before operating your car, the nurse shooters report fever, stiff muscles, or problems thinking if these shaking, stiffness, fluid, trouble moving or balance may occur.
Taking control starts with asking your doctor about Ingresa.
Now, let me start making the cornbread. That's what I'm trying to say. My Amazon is here.
Welcome back in here to Live Now from Fox. I'm Andy Mack. Less than 2 months now until people in New York City will head to the polls to vote on a New York City mayor.
My girl got an Amazon package.
New information, developing stories. A Texas man is being charged with making terrorist threats against New York City mayor.
Yes, you are more than welcome to come eat. Baby, mi casa es tu casa. So that's the goulash. I got the water boiling for the noodles. I was gonna make them together, but I was like, nah. I gotta show those noodles some respect. So I'm gonna do the noodles separately. Again, I'm gonna turn this down just a little bit more because I don't want it to burn. I just want it to slowly cook. I want that to slowly cook, guys. I don't want it. So now I'm going to start on the regular noodles, the elbows, the pasta, codos. How do you call them, codos? Yeah. So now let's start on this. Let me bring that back over here because I'm gonna start on the I'm joking, guys. I'm gonna start on the cornbread.
Become the next mayor of New York City, and the Queen's DA said that there is no room
find out
for any rhetoric of this kind here in politics in the city. It's alleged that he included anti-Muslim discourse and that he left a series of
yes, indeed. I got this Jiffy's.
is what we've been told.
But you know what? I love Jiffy's. If y'all don't love Jiffy's, well then, you know what? Too bad. Because baby, here we use some Jiffy's.
To watch his back every second until he leaves America, and that he and his relatives deserve to die. This information is coming from the district attorney. Now,
We want it all.
What we were told in a statement, in part it read, "We're grateful to District Attorney Katz's office for treating this matter with the seriousness it deserves."
Cornbread, yes indeed, baby. You got to have it. You just gotta have it.
Statement goes on to say, "We cannot and will not be intimidated by
I mean,
Islamophobia and hate."
I only know to make cornbread with goulash. Because baby, it is good, guys. Welcome in. Hit the like button. Comment where you from. Let me stop picking at this. Now,
His ability to have his client's ability to have the freedom of speech, and that these are his opinions.
y'all, there's no certain way. I just throw everything together, baby. I don't worry about adding this first, adding that first, baby. Let's just get it together. Let's go.
It's an overcharge, so to speak, several charges. And we're hearing that he could face up to 60 years in prison if all the charges were to stick. The judge
My chickens just gave me this, so they're fresh.
It was the suggestion was that it would be 50,000 cash. The family of the defendant said 25 was the number they were able to put on the table. He's out now on a $30,000 cash bail. So that's where we're at now. The story continues to develop here. A lot of people here in New York City have a lot of questions about you.
Freshly hatched eggs.
So he has some ties in New York, some relatives. His mother lived in Massachusetts, or still lives in Massachusetts. That came out in court, and he recently moved to Texas. He's been in Texas about a year. He's in Texas. It came out in court because of a relationship, and his brother is the connection to New York City, from what we've been able to put together in terms of what we heard in court today. Look, overall, that is a big question, right?
Yeah, my buttermilk is went bad already. What is eating it?
Across the nation, and there's a lot of international interest in the headline of Zohran Mamdani becoming the next mayor of the city.
Yeah, there's a very good point. Obviously, very concerning some of those threats that you kind of detail as the voicemail being left by him, and obviously just the religious overtone. So,
yeah, my buttermilk was bad.
Take your time, obviously, they're taking this very serious and with those terrorist charges. Thank you for the show right now.
Thank you.
As we continue to reiterate, less than 2 months now until this New York City mayoral race, as the people in the Big Apple really will head into the polls, and Zohran Mamdani.
Let me see what I'm gonna do to substitute.
Made quick work in the Democratic primary. And Cuomo, though, Eric Adams, the incumbent, both running.
What about if I had whipping cream? Let me see my whipping cream. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna have to add whipping cream. Because that's the only thing I have.
Describe another developing story as Turning Point USA. They have a new leader, a familiar name, that being Erica Kirk. Because I want to put up this a post here from Turning Point as the now widow.
And then me, I add. Y'all again, y'all do y'all's how y'all do y'all's. This is how I do mine. I'm gonna add some sour cream.
We are facing such a test, yet we also know that God has prepared us with everything we need to overcome this ordeal. It's an honor of our lives to serve as board members at Charlie's side. Charlie prepared all of us for a moment like this. He worked tirelessly to ensure that USA was built to survive.
Got to add sugar.
Now it is our great pride to announce Erica Kirk as the new CEO and chair of the board for Turning Point USA. It goes on to say, all of us at Turning Point USA have a special role in carrying Charlie Kirk's mantle and completing his vision for bringing us all closer to our realm and fostering a country for generations to come. Charlie always said, quote, we have a country to save. We will not surrender or kneel before evil. We will carry on. The attempt to destroy Charlie's work will become our chance to make it more powerful and enduring than ever before. May God bless Erica, the Kirk family, entire team at Turning Point USA. So that's just the statement that we are coming down. And In recent weeks, we've also seen comments of emotional Erica Kirk obviously paying tribute to her late husband as this announcement coming down today as they unanimously elected Charlie Kirk's widow, Erica Kirk, as the new CEO of the board.
Did y'all hear that? I just cracked this.
Of course, Charlie Kirk tragically killed and fatally shot in a horrific event more than a week ago now, last Wednesday, on the campus at Utah Valley University. While speaking, doing some of his college tour that he's so very familiar with. So the Kirk family is set to be remembered. Charlie Kirk is set to be remembered at a public memorial service scheduled for Sunday at State Farm Stadium. So this is a live picture at State Farm Stadium. There's going to be a lot of people attending, hundreds, thousands of people in attendance for this as we will see President Trump.
You know what threw me off? Not having no milk.
Speak at this event.
No, I always use that buttermilk too.
Very closely here on Live Now from Fox. This is the lineup for what will step into this service during this tribute here on Live Now from Fox. So we're also getting comments right now from the executive producer of Turning Point USA saying this. The Turning Point board has unanimously elected Erica Kirk as the new CEO.
Now I'm gonna add the noodles up, guys.
Charlie told me and many others this is exactly what he wanted, saying she's ready. All right, we're following you all very closely here on Live Now from Fox. We're back after this.
Yeah, I just added the back elbows. Now, I know a lot of you don't add corn, but I'm going to add corn to my goulash. Again, you make yours the way you want to make yours. But this is how I do mine. I always add corn to my goulash. I wish I could add some spices in there, but again, I got to feed my mama. Which I don't understand. How she eat like spicy, like Takis and hot Cheetos, but she can't. When you make goulash, it's like making spaghetti, baby. You make enough spaghetti to feed the whole block. Because again, this is going to be ready for them to eat when they hungry, guys. So I just added corn to my goulash. Again, you do it your way, but trust me, it tastes good. And your kids will love it too. My kids love corn. So let me stir these noodles. Ooh, I don't like when it overflows like that. It looks all nasty and ratchet.
It's really important. You need to stand up against this fascist takeover. That's not a bad word. It's a fact. And here in D.C. and across the country, it is so incredibly important, Mr. Chair, that this committee does not.
Now I'm gonna preheat my oven because I need to make that
paints Washington D.C. in a way that you all haven't really truly seen. You're just reading it. No, you're just reading it or something off of some.
Will the gentlelady yield to a question?
Yeah, and I think it's really important. No, I don't yield. I don't even have time. I can tell you. Time's expired. It is expired, but Mr. Chair, but you all live here, and you're not telling people the beautiful parts that you do see in the representation Capitol. And no, it's just wrong.
Chairman, I think it's saying it.
let me take all this stuff out of here. going down, y'all.
Alright, Chair recognizes Ms. Homer from Colorado. Order. Wait a minute, Ms. Homer. Alright. Order. Ms. Homer.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. This has certainly been lively today. Madam Mayor, I appreciate you being here today. And I have
Finna put this cornbread in the.
do you believe in regard to crime, the DC City Council
Wait,
is
do I have a
moving
little
the
stuff?
district in the right direction or the wrong direction?
Hold on, y'all. I like to get
The
everything.
city council and I are
Right or
working,
wrong direction?
we're moving in the right direction.
Now, okay. Why in 2023 did you veto the council's updates to the criminal code to eliminate most mandatory minimum sentences, reduce mandatory maximum penalties, and allow jury trials for misdemeanors?
Well, I made clear at the time my objections to the rewrite of the criminal code. The criminal code does need to be
This
updated.
bill does not make us safer, is that correct?
That's what I believe.
Yes, ma'am. Mayor Bowser, as we know, City Council overruled your
So,
veto
guys, I got the cornbread coming along fine.
This same year, crime rates rose dramatically. They overruled your veto, and then we saw crime rates rise dramatically. Do you believe that this bill contributed to the dramatic rise in crime that we saw in 2023 that's been mentioned here today as well by the council?
Well, the bill didn't go into effect, but I believe that it was necessary for us to look at.
I'm gonna put my
public safety
cornbread in this,
ecosystem.
guys.
Not just that year, but previous years.
Hold on. Again, my is real small, so I gotta rearrange some
The
stuff.
council overruled your veto, and at multiple events this year, you opposed
That was
national
quick.
deployments in Washington, D.C. However, since President Trump deployed the National Guard in D.C., violent crime has dropped nearly 50%.
Well, Ms. Boger,
Guys, y'all hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe to me, please. I am trying to reach 500.
50%. Property crimes like burglary, vehicle theft dropped about 25%, and carjacking assault dropped 28% decline compared to the same period in 2024. Will you admit, Mayor Bowser?
So that's what it's looking like.
In the National Guard.
Got the noodles going over here.
This district, and if not, why have you let them
Corn
sit
mix.
here indefinitely?
what I have said is that the increase in federal law enforcement, National Guard is not law enforcement.
You've allowed
And
them
so
to stay here indefinitely.
the president controls the DC National Guard, and he purports to control the guards from other states.
Have you asked him to remove them?
Yes.
And you would be in favor of that? Do you think that crime would increase once again?
Ms. Bogart, I put in place a mayor's order that is a framework for how DC government will work with our federal partners.
Yes.
And they include the FBI, the DEA, the ATF, U.S.
Sorry, my time is
Capitol
short. I don't mean to
Police,
step
as
over
well
you.
as the United States Secret
I want to
Service.
keep this respectful with you, and I don't mean
Yes.
to step over you. One more question, Mayor Bowser. Is cracking down on crime racist, as many of your Democrat colleagues have suggested?
Our police department
Yes,
has
no, is it
been,
racist, ma'am?
not in DC.
Thank you, ma'am. Chairman Mendelson, you believe that cracking down on crime is racist, correct?
No.
Is that not what you said? You said bringing in large numbers of federal or National Guard troops can escalate tensions, particularly in minority neighborhoods. You also stated that federal deployments can disrupt daily life, disproportionately affect minority communities, and exacerbate racial tensions. So,
Are you asking about the National Guard or law enforcement?
I said federal or National Guard troops.
I do
And
think
we've seen police presence decrease under this council, and funding be redirected. So I really don't care to hear how pro-police you are, because I've seen those numbers decrease over the years and funding be stripped. And so with the National
we have
Guard
not skipped funding in 4 years.
in it has happened and
We've
crime
not in
has
4 years.
increased.
What has happened in 4
Chairman
years
Middleton,
is that
if I
we've
may.
not been reimbursed
So the
$83
federal
million by the
deployments
federal
can
government for
disrupt these
police.
things, and you said that they can
Y'all,
activate.
y'all crazy.
So it is racist to bring in.
Okay, I'm gonna throw this in the oven. It's already ready to go.
Okay, so are you rejecting the statement?
Militarization is a problem. I think that's the organization. It is a
Huh?
problem.
Sí, le volvamos.
You said that it increases racist. So I would say that you are characterizing that as racist, bringing it in. Mr. Chairman, my time is expired.
From Colorado, Chair, Mr. Meehan from California.
Sorry, I'm going to. Thank you. I request unanimous consent to enter into the record this May 16, 2024 article from the Washington Post titled, "A Congressman in Prison in the Teen Tells DC to Be Tough on Youth," which covered the story of a congressman child diversion program to avoid jail time that Mr. Chairman was in fact distributed and have a bribery.
Guys, hit that like button for me, please.
The article is wrong, and I'm on record saying that repeatedly. I've never been proud of what happened when I was 18 years old or 20 years old.
Y'all hit that like button, please.
And under the laws of the state of Florida, I was held accountable for that as an adult. So let's be very clear about what was written in that article, which is wrong. It does not coincide with the language that passed the House for the amendment. If you want to read articles that go in the record, let's be clear about what they are. And since I'm the only subject matter expert on that article, I would like to set the record straight right now. Thank you. This committee continues to fail to conduct oversight on the most important issues that my constituents care about. Whether it's the allegations of chronic and extreme law breaking by ICE, it's the politicization of DOJ, FCC, and other executive branch offices to go after Trump's critics, the repeated attacks on Congress's Article I authorities, including the illegal taxation of goods imported into the United States, tariffs, or the illegal withholding of funds appropriated by Congress, aka impoundments, and on and on and on. And incredibly, virtually the entire Republican caucus has refused to sign the discharge petition to release the entire Epstein files. Earlier this year, GOP leadership recessed early, hoping that the Massey Connor discharge petition would fade away. But that is not going to happen.
I feel like even if they do release the Epstein files, they would.
4 Republicans, including 3 on this committee, have been brave enough to sign that petition.
I wouldn't want them to release it anyways, because there's a lot of people who got hurt.
Absolutely.
Are you not keeping up with the oversight? I mean, we have requested more information than the discharge petition. And I think you're trying to create a false narrative that this committee's not doing.
What the heck was that?
This committee's been very aggressive on the Epstein.
The committee is doing, but it is proceeding piecemeal, and the discharge petition, as I understand it, would require the entire release of the Epstein files. They're not inconsistent with each other, and I think
then it has to go to the Senate.
Respectfully,
You want us to just wait? You just want us to just drop everything in the Epstein
I
and
don't
wait?
understand why the oversight committee can't do oversight while also signing on to the discharge petition. Because we are asking for piecemeal items from the FBI and DOJ. We are not asking, as I understand it.
We've asked for everything. We've asked for everything. Now, I'll yield back to your time.
And if I could have a little more time, I'd appreciate it. I urge my colleagues to
fulfill our constitutional responsibilities and
Those
do
noodles
right
are
by
ready,
the
guys.
survivors and sign on to that. And respectfully, Mr. Chairman, I would urge you to consider that as well. But I want to turn to today's hearing because I believe this is largely political speak meant to distract us from the fact that Donald Trump is legally deploying thousands of military troops in the streets of Washington, D.C., following on his illegal deployment of military personnel in Los Angeles. And now he's threatening to deploy the military in cities like Chicago, New York, and Portland over the objections of the local mayors and governors. Now, as a reminder, state governors have broad latitude to call up their National Guard, but the president's authority is very limited, and it is limited under Title 10 authority, which is expressly limited to 3 circumstances. 1, when the United States is invaded or in danger of invasion by a foreign nation. 2, there's a rebellion or danger of a rebellion against the authority of the government of the United States. Or 3, the president is unable with regular forces to execute the laws of the United States. If you agree with the following question, do you believe the United States is being invaded? I want to know for the record there are no hands raised. Do you believe there's a rebellion happening? No. Again, no hands raised. Do you believe the president is unable to execute the laws of the United States without the National Guard? No hands raised. That's right. Donald Trump, ironically, is using a trumped-up crisis over crime to break the law.
Yeah, I'm getting a headache.
In January 2024,
So this is my goulash, guys.
entitled The Authoritarian Playbook for 2025, which warned explicitly that if Trump were elected, he would likely follow the same playbook used by authoritarians like Vladimir Putin in Russia, Recep Erdogan in Turkey, Viktor Orban in Hungary, and others. It outlines a number of actions they expected President Trump to take during his second term. So I want you to raise your hand if you think the Trump administration is doing the following. Issuing pardons to license law breaking. Yes. Raise your hands if you agree with that. Directing investigations against critics and rivals. Yes. Regulatory retaliation. Yes. Federal law enforcement overreach.
So I'm gonna let that sit.
The massive deployment of the military. Yes.
Y'all, this is goulash.
This is exactly what these authors predicted Trump would take as far as actions if he were elected a second term.
But I am going to add just a little bit.
Which clearly prohibits the use of military personnel, including the National Guard, for law enforcement activities, unless specifically authorized by Congress, such as with the Insurrection Act. Now, I've actually asked a lot of the National Guardsmen here that I've run into on the streets.
Again, you do yours the way you do yours. I'm going to do mine the way I do
And
mine.
they've consistently told me that the answer is no. I asked a guardsman just earlier today what would happen if he saw crime happening right in front of him. He said he could take pictures, videos, he could call the cops, but he's not allowed to engage. So I'm really appreciative of those who serve in our National Guard, and I'm really, really appreciative that unlike Donald Trump, they are following the law. But this is also just massively wasteful and disrespectful to our National Guardsmen who are pulled from their families, their jobs, and their communities, all to essentially serve as human scarecrows, or even worse, to clean up our streets and door landscaping. This is not what our guardsmen were trained to do. It's not what they were signing up to do. It's also massively expensive. President Trump's deployment of the National Guard in Los Angeles cost over $120 million.
Alright guys, so this is what it looks like. I got the goulash, and then I got the cornbread going, guys. Y'all hit that like button. Let me know where y'all located. Let's come and see what they're talking about.
For this DC deployment, which is doing nothing to stop crime. You could hire thousands of cops with that money. So Mayor Bowser, I want to ask you a question. What would be more effective in deterring and preventing crime? Deploying over 2,000 National Guardsmen at a cost of hundreds of millions of dollars? Or sending that money to DC for additional law enforcement and crime prevention programs?
And did you know what time's expired, but the mayor can answer the question?
I think you took
Yeah, I'm going to enjoy one of these.
No, we stopped the clock. I watched.
Have y'all tried these before? They're so good.
Didn't stop.
Yeah, we stopped it.
Love you.
Sending the money to DC, restoring our 2025 approved budget as a start would also help. Additionally, we can do more than law enforcement. We can also assist the federal government with their parks.
I appreciate that answer, and I would just close by saying this. If Trump were serious about stopping crime, he would send greater resources to local law enforcement and try to tackle the root causes. Instead, he's illegally sending
in our cities, even as he's pardoning criminals, defunding the FBI, and reallocating our scarce federal resources to going after nonviolent offenders. This makes, like day laborers, children, this is making our communities more dangerous, not more safe.
Chair recognizes Florida's favorite son, Mr. Donalds.
And I'd like to, with unanimous consent, introduce this article titled...
I've already recognized Mr. Donalds. You can do it in a minute. Mr. Donalds.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Look
This
at
has been a very
these, they're
interesting
so
hearing for a myriad
good.
of reasons. Mayor Bowser,
That's a
thanks for
heart
being
for
here
each
with
and
us. I
every
do
one of you. I
appreciate
love
you taking the
y'all.
time today. It was said earlier that in 1973, Congress did pass the DC Home Rule Act. It is known on Capitol Hill, it's known quite frankly through our entire constitutional republic, that any Congress cannot bind a future Congress. Just like at the state level, a legislature cannot bind a future legislature. That something that is enacted can be modified or undone in the future. I was able to have a conversation with a lot of the people from the Free DC organization. Some of them might still be in the room today. And that was the constant point that we came back to. That yes, under the law passed in 1973, your position was created, the DC City Council's position was created, but the ultimate authority for the federal district is still the United States Congress. And with the signature of the President of the United States. Would you agree with that assessment?
I would agree. And I would also add, it's within the power of this Congress to advance the DC statehood bill. By simple majority, this Congress can, like it has done for every state in the union outside of the first 13, admit DC as a state.
I'm glad you actually brought that up, because one of the reasons why I opposed the DC statehood bill is because the Constitution and the framers were actually quite clear that they did not want the federal district per se to be leveraged by a state or any state. And I think I had conversations with several residents of DC who were walking through the halls of Capitol Hill when then Speaker Pelosi was bringing that up. And I asked them two very important questions. If you want to have representation, why don't we allow that property to be re-annexed by the state of Maryland, which actually provided...
Y'all hit that like button, subscribe.
Or
please.
Would the citizens of the District of Columbia prefer not to be subject to federal income taxes as a result of them not having quote-unquote representation? What's your thought on that?
I do think it's time to talk about what the district pays and what we get back. I do think it's time to have that conversation.
That's a fair conversation to have. I got a couple questions for you. Let's get to the business of the matter. Since President Trump authorized the National Guard to be in D.C., how much has crime decreased in the District of Columbia?
I think it's important.
Welcome in, guys. Hit the like button, subscribe.
This conversation that you talk about.
How many reached 500 subscribers?
You don't talk about federal law enforcement. And the federal surge consisted of federal law enforcement, which NPD works with all the time. I'm talking about the FBI, the DEA.
Mayor Bowser, I'm really not trying to disrespect you, but how much has crime decreased?
Oh, I mentioned already and let me look at my numbers, that the federal surge produced the 39% decrease in violent crime.
39% decrease in violent crime
and that's on
in the
top,
nation's capital.
Let me just add, that's on top of the 26% decrease that we were already experiencing.
That the president's surge was more effective than your own efforts. What did you say? Last time I checked, 39% is way higher than 26%. But let me move on.
The false statistic is a little different.
Chairman Mendelson, I didn't ask you a question.
I know,
Relax,
but the
hang
false
on.
statistic is a little different.
Actually, Chairman, let me ask you this question. Because you butted in, now let me ask you.
Sure.
What is the current status of the Metropolitan Police Department in terms of staffing? How many officers do you have on the beat?
I believe it's less than 3,100.
Okay. Is the MPD fully staffed?
In my view, no.
This is how I be trying to talk at work and I get fired.
So is a surge of federal law enforcement into the federal enclave, which the mayor has acknowledged is the primary responsibility of the federal government. Primary responsibility.
Okay, guys, the goulash is going. Cornbread's in there.
In the District of Columbia, Chairman.
The additional law enforcement resources